Shotgun with Charlie.
Riding shotgun refers to the practice of sitting next to the driver in a moving vehicle. The term riding shotgun came around after the time of the stagecoach, when somebody used to sit next to the driver holding a shotgun, in case they ran into bandits. My name is Charlie Cook, and I drive a lot. I like to talk to people while I'm driving, so I interview people in my car while I'm driving. Welcome to Riding Shotgun with Charlie. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this episode of Riding Shotgun with Charlie. I am in Fort Wayne, Indiana today, and we're going to hand sanitize my passenger. Yeah, 2 hands. There we go.
Beautiful.
And a hand and a squirt for me. My guest today is Dawn Hillyer from Hilda, and we are hand sanitizing with the Lead Slingers hand sanitizer. They make a great whiskey, a rye whiskey, cinnamon whiskey, and a rum. So check out Lead Slingers. LeadSlingersWhiskey.com is the website, and info@leadslingers.com is where you can buy some of this. Let's take these off. Before we take it off, I do have my Gun for Hire mask on, thanks to Anthony Calandro and the guys at Gun for Hire. So they rock. They are the tip of the spear. What we're doing with the hand sanitizer, I have some for you, Dawn, is we are trying to spread the health. Instead of spread the wealth, we're trying to spread the health.
Spread the health. I love that.
Spread the health. I know we're trying to.
Love that. Thank you.
There we go. So, thank you for being on the show.
Of course. Thanks for having me.
I'm happy to be in Fort Wayne, Indiana.
Such a mecca, right?
I know. I thought there would be buildings here, but I saw a CVS.
Yeah, there's a couple. There's a couple CVS's. That's pretty much what you find. Maybe a Walgreens too.
Maybe a Walgreens. Living large. Living large.
Yes. Actually, it's a pretty big city. There's about 250,000, but
that's
they're
cool.
all. We're on the north end. Yep. Go this
all right. Way. I was hoping to see like some buildings or something.
Well, we have to go downtown for that.
How far is downtown?
Well, we can absolutely do that.
I wasn't sure if we passed through downtown.
Oh, no, that's the place I'm moving to, actually. It's like about one main street. It's all good.
Nice.
But if you want to go downtown, we can take it. Yeah. We'll go left and then take a left at this light.
Left and left. All right.
You betcha. We have a nice downtown. It's been all redone.
Cool.
Yeah, it's a good place.
Cool. All right, so tell us about yourself. Tell us how you get into gun stuff. You started making Hiding Hilda. I'm not sure what the rest of the title is. Concealed carry bags?
Yeah.
It's more than just bags though, right?
Right. We have a variety of things that women with guns want. We have accessories. Not only concealed carry purses, which we carry 9 lines. So we have the most in the country, the biggest selection in the country, and have access to all the different brands. But we also carry bullet jewelry, Dean Adams, Koala bags.
Oh, very cool.
Pistol wear, so a lot of on-body and off-body.
Gotcha.
Everybody carries a little bit differently.
Right.
So, and we want to promote women carrying and carrying safely.
Yeah.
So that's kind of, we're really tailoring to the women, and we have shooting groups and love to do training.
All sorts of. Now, are you with any of the pro gun gal groups?
A couple,
okay.
Actually. I'm actually the vice president for the ladies' side of the Indiana State Pistol and Rifle Association.
Oh, wow.
So I lead the entire Indiana chapter for the ladies.
That is cool.
As well as do Hiding Hilda. I was a well-armed woman instructor for 3 years.
Cool.
We got a little too advanced and couldn't follow the rules generally. But we wanted to keep people engaged. So now it's a Hiding Hilda group here in Fort Wayne.
Oh, very cool.
So we can keep that going. And then I do a lot with different gun ranges and try to promote the DC project. I think that's a great thing. They're starting state level things. So I'm working with Beth Walker, who is our state representative, to try to help her get in and promote, because I do a lot across the state, so I know all the leaders.
Gotcha.
So I'm hoping I can help her as well with the DC project.
Very cool.
Yeah, and the Second Amendment project. I don't know if you've heard about that yet.
The Second Amendment project.
There's a new group. It's called the Second Amendment Project.
Yeah.
Guy Relford, who is one of the leading Second Amendment attorneys in the country, speaks with Dana Lash, and he was on Cam and Grant.
Wow.
A bunch of different shows. He started the Second Amendment Project.
Okay.
So it's a newer group, and they work with a lot of legislative side and just all different things. So that's one of the newer groups. I'm very excited about his.
Very
It's
cool.
going to really take off, I think.
Very cool.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
He's got a great logo, too.
Yeah. We'll have to put one up. We'll dig one up and put it up there.
Yeah.
All right. So how did you get into gun stuff?
So guns were actually not in my world at all. I didn't grow up with them. You know, I had a couple cousins who went hunting or whatever. But in 2006, I had a stalker. And it lasted for 6 years. He ended up with 10 years in prison. He got 3 felony counts, 10 years in prison. But in the meantime, you know, I was a single mom with 3 kids.
Yeah.
After so long and so many death threats, and then start reaching out to your family and kids, I just had to take control. There was multiple police reports and protective orders. None of them did anything.
Just a piece of paper. It's not going to do anything.
Just a piece of paper. I mean, I truly thought my life was in danger.
Yeah.
So I lost my job and I was hiding out. And that's where the name Hiding Hilda came from. Was my name's Dawn Hillyer and I was literally hiding. So all my aliases were Hiding Hilda. And then once, you know, I got my first firearm, I named her Hilda. I started getting confidence, felt empowered. It was like a mental switch that I'm not going down without a fight.
Yeah.
I've had enough. I had to draw the line. So I named my first firearm Hilda. So then I was still Hiding Hilda, but I could live out loud. I wouldn't shut up. Like everything he was doing was not okay.
Yeah.
And that's why it took 6 years. And I swear it didn't. The prosecutors, it sat on their desk for 2 years. The only reason I think it went through is when Dr. Phil's producers started calling him to find out why.
Wait a second, you were on Dr. Phil?
I was working with the producers. I wasn't actually on, I was on Katie Couric, but not Dr. Phil because it was in the middle of the case. Yeah, and the prosecutors let me know that if I was on, it could jeopardize the case. So I couldn't do it at the time.
So maybe they should pick up the pace a little bit.
Perhaps.
Yeah.
Yep. And I just started a Stalked. It's called Stalked. It's a private Facebook page. I get calls from all over the country.
Really?
You would not believe the number of people, even here, still in Fort Wayne, after everything, you know, it's a mess. So one of the things that we're trying to do with that group is not only offer support, but we have victims advocates, we have police officers, we have detectives, we have some national domestic violence people to try to not only change laws, but give support and help the people who need it. It's maddening, these stories that I read, that are so similar.
Right.
It's like they just don't take it seriously. Just it's as easy as turning off your phone, get off social media.
Right.
It is not that easy.
People don't go out. Like how do you we've all found out as we're in the middle of all this nonsense. You can't not go out. Like
right.
How do you get stashes of toilet paper? You have to go to the store.
Right.
How do you get food? Like nobody grows their own food and nobody's harvesting their own animals, you know? It's certainly not enough people that could live on their own and sustain a community. Yeah.
Well, and that's the thing, you know, I could hide out all I want, but I had to work. I had to get groceries. Right. I had 3 kids that had to be dropped off and taken home. And no matter what route I took to work, I was still there around 8 o'clock in the morning.
Right.
And he was always sitting there.
So it's easy to figure out to pattern your schedule.
Absolutely. You have routine. You can't get away from it.
Yeah.
You have to live. So that's how I decided to take my life back in general.
I've talked to a lot of women that have said that once they became a gun owner, it really it empowered them. I was talking with Brooke Cheney in Connecticut last month, and she called it her Wonder Woman moment, that she could go out and learn how to use a gun and give her the power to be able to protect her kids.
That's why my tagline is "Be your own hero."
Love it.
I know,
awesome.
right?
That is awesome.
Yeah, that's exactly why it is. You can't. I mean, as a normal person in society, who I've never had legal trouble or whatever. You expect that the police are going to come help you when somebody's doing something wrong, right?
This is what we're led to believe, and we're told all the time.
Yes.
Cops are there for you to protect and serve, and, you know, call 911, blah, 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 wait on the phone.
Well, and the longer this went on, and the more often I called, well, he had a friend on the police force, which is a whole nother issue because he kept finding out. But every time they called him to say, leave her alone, and then did nothing,
right,
it got worse and worse. It's like it empowered him. He thrived on it. So each time it got worse, and each time I called the police, I started calling the desk sergeant, it would take longer and longer for them to come out.
Of hearing about it.
Yes. And they didn't know who was crazy at first, but all they had to do was look. I mean,
they didn't know it was crazy. All they had to do was look.
They just had to look. I mean, I had everything. They just had to look. I turned in everything February of 2016 that was used in trial in 2012.
Wow.
I mean, there was more. It just compounded from that.
Wow. Wow. All right, I'm gonna.
So you're just gonna keep going straight.
Keep going straight. All right.
Betcha.
So how do you meet a guy that becomes a stalker? Not that I'm looking to get one, but like.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, the thing about stalkers is a lot of them know how to act in public. A lot of them are psychopaths.
Okay.
They're narcissistic.
Yeah.
And this guy, you know, I met him through work. I worked for a staffing agency for 10 years.
Okay.
So he was a stockbroker. And I staffed that brokerage firm for the receptionist and stuff.
Yeah.
So I had been in there a couple times, and I was single, and he contacted me on Match, so we started talking.
I was wondering about the dating thing. I don't use my real name on dating apps.
Well, listen.
That's my
I'm
advice.
happily married now, so I'm not using dating apps at all. But
I don't use my real name, and I don't tell people what I do.
That's smart.
Yeah.
That's smart. Well, this was back in 2006, so it was on Match.com.
Right. And that was one of the only ones I had, right?
And it's ironic, though, because I thought I was sick of going to the bars and hanging out. And it's ironic because he seemed well put together. I mean, he lived in a nice house.
He's an intelligent guy. He's a stockbroker. He dresses nice, drives a nice car, has got a good job,
always
makes
had
good money.
Very polite. But we both knew it wasn't a forever thing. We both, I mean, it was agreed. He didn't spend the night. He wasn't around my kids. It was every other weekend.
Yep.
We'd hang out. Whatever. So when we decided to part ways, because we were both ready to date, easy breezy. Didn't see or hear from him for a year. And then all of a sudden, I'm on my way home from a Rolling Stones concert, and my phone started ringing. Wow. October 12th, 2006. And then it was like a freight train for 2 solid years.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now, I'm going to ask a dumb question.
That's all right. No dumb questions.
What about changing your number if he's calling you there all the time?
Oh, I changed my number 4 times. I changed my email addresses. Yes. He was well ahead of his time in computers. So he would be like, send himself death threats to look like they were from me. And then go over, meet the police, and it was crazy. It was
crazy.
If you want the full story, actually, I have a blog out. It's on my Hiding Hilda webpage. So anybody's welcome to. It's a 6-part. It's long. It's 6 parts.
We'll put some links there.
But it goes into detail. There's foul language and all sorts of stuff. So just be warned. But you know, it really tells the whole case and the police reactions and what happened. So it's a lot.
Crazy. So
it is crazy. But I'm just some chick from Fort Wayne, Indiana. Right. People think it happens to celebrities. It can happen to anybody, especially with technology.
We spent 3 hours driving from nowhere to get here. Yeah. There weren't too many things. We drove by one house and we're like, could you imagine living here? Because like the closest person's about 3 miles away. So it can happen anywhere. So that led you into becoming a gun gal.
Correct.
Right?
Yep.
And how did that lead into the Hiding Hilda, besides you named your gun Hilda?
So I couldn't find, I worked in an accounting firm as a recruiter. It was very professional, very conservative.
Sure.
And, you know, guys live in waistbands. No matter what you have on, right? You have on some shirt and some form of waistband. Okay. So it's easy for men to carry in a waistband, really, in the same spot. So as I was getting trained, first off, I've always been a purse girl. I like my shoes, I like my boots, I like my coaches, I like all that kind of stuff. But where I worked, I couldn't carry on my body. And after being trained, you know, I didn't want to carry on body for the sake of carrying on body. They teach muscle retention, right?
Right.
So if you want muscle retention and you don't want to have to think about it, it seems counterintuitive to carry in your bra, on your thigh, on your ankle, on your hip, in the front, in the back, depending on what you're wearing. You don't have that muscle retention. It goes against the training that we're taught. So for me, it was easier to carry in a purse.
Okay.
And I like to crossbody, but I couldn't find any purses that I really liked that were my style. I couldn't do, I worked in a conservative firm. Like, a lot of them at that time weren't really awesome. But I needed, you know, I'm in Indiana, it gets cold. I needed somewhere I could get to. If I carried on body and it was February, like was a bad month.
Yeah.
And I'm carrying on body, I'm now in deep concealment. And I'm walking in, and I would rather have it on the outside where I can get to it. I could have my hand on my firearm if he was out in the stalker parking lot. So I could pull it if I needed to.
Yeah.
Instead of it being in deep concealment now just to be on my body. So I know there's a lot of things about people shouldn't purse carry. There's a lot of poo-pooers.
Sure.
But nothing works for everybody. And that's how I was comfortable. I'm very fast draw. It's a matter of how you practice, but it's always in the same place.
Right.
Now I do carry on my body too, but I'll appendix carry. So it's in the same place. So I don't typically carry all over my body, but that's why I went into it. And then, you know, I found a lot of purses that I like. I might have a little fetish with them, I guess. I wanted to share my enthusiasm.
Right.
But I love it. You know, women and accessories rule the world. That's how we show our individuality.
Yeah.
Is through accessorizing. It doesn't matter if you have on scrubs or a dress or whatever it is.
Oh, sure.
We accessorize. And I wanted to be able to do that with some style, but with the functionality. I don't want to lose, I think women should be pretty and badass. I didn't want to lose my pretty to be badass.
I love that. That's great.
So, yeah, so that's how the whole thing really got started.
Yeah. Now, how do you take someone else's purses and start to, I don't know, I suggested this to some people, some students that I have, to, you know, if you don't want to spend the money on a purse, you don't have the money to spend on a purse, buy a purse that you have and get a pocket holster and sew it on the inside. Is that how you start out with something like that?
I like the designated pockets.
Okay.
I mean, you can see in my purse right now, I have a ton of crap in my purse. So I want something that's easily accessible in a separate pocket, that's holstered, that's durable. So I like specific gun purses, more so than inserts.
Gotcha.
One of the reasons I found that, though, is I used to carry my coach purse, and I had my purse, or my gun on the inside, like in one of the little inside pockets.
Yeah.
And, you know, I wear makeup and have bottled water and all of that. But I was at Walmart and I had it turned the wrong way and you could see it.
Yikes.
Yeah, and the cashier's face kind of went white. And I'm like, I'm just getting my debit card, you know?
Right. This is not a hold up.
Yeah, I had to figure out a solution to my problem.
Very cool.
So, yeah, I'm just trying to get that out and help other people do that. And we've also grown to some men's bags and, you know, different holsters and stuff too. Even some jewelry. The men were jealous, yeah.
I've got another woman I interviewed in Connecticut makes jewelry, and it's pretty cool stuff.
Yeah,
pretty cool stuff.
So we carry a lot of different brands across, but we also manufacture our own here in Fort Wayne.
Yeah. We're
one of the very few American-made brands under $200. Ours are actually under $100. But it's the old COO of Vera Bradley. When she moved her stuff to China, he bought one of the facilities, so he does Cindy bags and Hiding Hilda bags and some military contracts. So cool. They're all USA made.
That's awesome.
And very few people can say that. And machine washable. So
and machine washable.
They're lightweight, yeah. It was one of those little holes. People wanted something more lightweight. Firearms are already heavy. So why have a 3-pound purse if you're adding a 5-pound firearm?
Oh my God, totally.
Yeah, so.
How long have you been doing Hiding Hilda?
It has been 5 years. 5.5 years now.
All right, we're going to turn here. 5.5 years. And you were telling me before we started that things picked up kind of quickly. Things
did pick up quickly. It kind of springboarded into this. So really, Katie Couric gave me the idea. in all actuality.
Really?
In a roundabout
You're like the
way.
only person in the gun community who can say Katie Couric did something good for you.
I know, isn't that crazy? Well, you're gonna make a left here.
Yeah.
I was on, after my case went public and he got his 10 years and stuff, excuse me, I was on Stalked Someone's Watching on Investigation Discovery.
Wow.
They picked it up, and then Katie Couric was doing a series on stalking.
Mm-hmm.
So the people from Stalked on Investigation Discovery referred me to Katie Couric, or
Okay.
whatever.
Yeah.
So I got the call for that, and she picked up on the gun part. Because at one point...
Oh my God, sure, she's an anti-gun.
Yeah, at one point there was a couple days where it was total death threats everywhere. On my friends' cell phones, on my work phones, on everywhere I went, my parents' phone, everywhere I went. It was screaming death. Oh, everywhere, yeah.
Your parents were getting death threats?
Yeah, oh yeah. They were at work, they were on my friends' cell phones.
From the stalker?
Yes.
Oh my God.
And I believed that night it was going to happen. Like, I believed it.
Wow.
And I didn't have a firearm at that time, but I sent my kids with my ex-husband, and my husband had a gun. And I sat there, honestly, I went to my house and I waited.
Oh my God.
Because he was going to show up that night.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
It was crazy stuff.
That is crazy stuff.
But Katie kind of really picked up on that, and that led to Fox News and like all over the place.
How, I'll see if I can dig up a link to, for the Katie Couric thing, put it in the description and stuff. But how does, I mean, Katie Couric's relatively anti-gun about everything, and so now she's kind of in this position where here's a woman who needs a gun to protect herself, which the news folk never believe happens.
Yes.
And she's kind of got that story.
And it's bizarre because, I mean, I speak to a lot of domestic violence places, to different police departments, and I even debated the mayor of Fort Wayne on gun violence.
That's cool.
And you know, it's bizarre to me because people look at me, they hear my story, and they think, yes, it's okay for me to have a gun.
Now.
Right. But I'm like, okay, well, if it's okay for me to have a gun to protect myself, then why isn't it okay for other people?
Yeah.
There's crime everywhere. This was a targeted person. You know how many crimes happen that
are untargeted?
Yeah, that are just random.
People looking for rando victims, yeah. Right.
So, I don't know. I feel like it's hypocritical in a way.
It completely is. And I mean, we all know this. In some states, you have to have a need before you can start to get a license, or buy a gun, or start the licensing process. And by then, it's too late. Yep. It is too late.
Well, even for me, I couldn't get my concealed carry permit until he was sentenced, and it was over.
What?
Yeah. Well, part of it was because of him. Yeah. Because he was making false police reports.
Oh my
He was turning us in for insurance fraud and forging letters from the FBI. And there's no doubt in my mind that he would have done something saying I brandished the gun, or I threatened him, or something like that. So, and he put protective orders on me in retaliation to his.
Unbelievable.
Even though he always dropped them.
Right.
It muddied the water.
It difficult. Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. So I couldn't even get one until after he was sentenced, and all of that was gone.
Right. So if you have a restraining order pulled against you, then you temporarily lose your right to be able to have a gun. I mean, I think it's the same way in many states.
A lot of states, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, it works both ways. Those red flag laws and all of that.
I'm becoming one of these guys. Like, I like to, you talk to people and they say we have to take the language back. So I like to.
Great.
I like to say we're not law-abiding citizens. I like to say we're law-abiding background check passing citizens.
Right.
We're gonna throw that in there because that's and I like to say that a gun control loophole is when people we're not gonna ban guns. We're going to ban ammunition. We're not going to ban guns. We're going to ban magazine restrictions. And we're not going to ban guns. We're just not going to take them anywhere. We're not going to ban guns. You just can't have these kinds. And that is a gun control loophole.
Agreed.
So let's take their language and use it against them. Absolutely.
I agree.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's some of the things that have happened with some of the politicians. Like, hey, why don't we red flag that person?
Seriously.
Right. Yeah. We need to red flag them. So you guys are doing this whole thing where you're what's the word I'm looking? Restraining ordering each other, and you can't get your license. Now, I'm not familiar with the gun laws in Indiana. I know Indiana accepts everyone else's gun license. Do you have to have a license to purchase and possess anything, or just to carry?
To carry.
Just to carry.
Just to carry. Yep.
Gotcha.
Yep. But one of the cool thing, like I said, I was never involved in the gun industry before. But I got to tell you, I have met the best people.
Absolutely.
In this industry.
Yeah.
The assumption that people make about gun owners and rednecks and what have you and all of that is just so...
This way? Okay.
Yep, it's just so incorrect. I mean, last year, this was one of my highlights. I love that I did this. But last year, we had the fashion show, the concealed carry fashion show.
Oh, yeah.
Indiana Girls with Guns put it on. Yeah, the NRA, along with Amanda with Realize, helped out with it.
Yeah, Amanda Suffecool. She rocks Eye on the Target radio.
She does rock Eye on the Target radio. She's awesome. I've learned a ton from her. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. We'll give Rob a shout out. He's a great model in the fashion shows, isn't he?
He takes it all in stride. He likes to conceal a sandwich in his bag.
Yeah. It's so fun, but a lot of people. What I'm realizing, since I've been networking my whole life, and I'm working on the political side and the legislative side, plus I do gun shows all the time, and I'm working with the manufacturers, it kind of puts me in a unique position to bring all the people together.
Right.
So a lot of people in the fashion show last year didn't know each other.
Oh,
and they met
cool.
a lot of, and it's fun to see them on Facebook, interacting and bringing people together. And I don't know, it's just a completely different industry and different people than what I ever imagined or expected.
Oh, of course. I mean, you all think you're going to look like me, an overweight white dude with a big beard. But yeah, there's a ton of people. There's a ton of people, all walks of life.
Yeah, just amazing.
Yeah. And everyone's, for the most part, everyone's really cool about everything. We've all got our things that we do and our lanes that we're in.
Yep.
And rock on.
Yeah, it's a very supportive community.
It really is. It really is.
I find it more so than other industries that I've been in.
Yeah.
One thing you won't find around Fort Wayne is any outdoor ranges. Isn't that bizarre? Yeah, like gun ranges down there.
Why? Why would you not have an outdoor range?
I know. They're both out of town. There's neither one. Fort Wayne has no outdoor range.
Wow.
Isn't that crazy?
That is crazy. I don't know, maybe too much of city limits? I don't know.
I don't know. Yeah.
I know when I'm, when you're out here, it looks like the bullets will travel forever. And ever and ever.
Yes.
That's wild.
So have you been surviving the COVID with your travels?
So here's what I've done. A week and a half ago, I went up to Vermont and I interviewed someone in Vermont. 2 weeks before that, I interviewed someone in Connecticut. And I had to come out to the Midwest for some family stuff. So I was like, who can I get on the way? And I'm like, so I see if I can get someone in Indiana, and or do I need to, find somewhere else? And you answered the message, like quick and easy. Quick and easy, and it's not that bad off the beaten path.
Have you? How many states have you been to?
Oh my God! I'm so glad you asked. This is my 20th state.
Ah, really?
20th state, not including DC. That is 40% of the country.
That is amazing.
40% of the country. I have.
That is amazing.
A crazy goal to do a show in every state. I know that I have some. So I met some friends in Phoenix at the Gun Rights Policy Conference that want to be on the show. I just have to get to Hawaii.
Oh, darn.
Right.
That's a write-off. That would suck, right?
Right. What do you do? I'm going to Hawaii. For what? For vacation? No, for work.
For work.
What do you do? I drive around and talk to people. That's a job.
Amazing. Yeah. Our jobs rock, I have to tell you.
Yeah.
Right?
There's a lot of the if you could do it. If you could do it for free, yeah, I have been doing this for free.
I was gonna say I kind of do. I do a lot.
Right, and it gives me the riding shotgun stuff gives me things that aren't tangible, and it's to be able to call someone and be like, hey, I'm coming to Indiana. You want to be on the show? Absolutely. Hey, I'm going to be coming here. Do you want to be on? Okay, cool. And then
that's amazing.
To go to the Gun Rights Policy Conference and have people come up and say, when you coming to Milwaukee? When you coming to St. Louis? When you coming to Nashville? I'm like, I gotta go back to work to make money so I can do all this
so I
stuff.
can do it. Well, I remember when you and I first met was at the Gun Rights Policy Conference in Chicago.
Yeah.
And you had said that you were going to try to do each state. And I remember thinking, Indiana.
Right? I love it.
So I was very enthusiastic. I was excited to get your call. Enthusiastic to do this. I was like, yes.
Thanks.
I want to ride shotgun with Charlie.
I know. This is what this is what I love. I tell everyone that I just want to get to the point where when people say, oh my God, do you know Charlie? I don't have to use my last name. You know Charlie? This is Charlie from Riding Shotgun with Charlie.
I love it.
That's it. I just want to be Charlie.
Yep. I understand that. I'm kind of Hilda.
Yeah, of course.
I mean,
believe me, when I started looking for you, I'm like, Hilda. No, it's Dawn. Right.
Yeah. I answer to both.
I can imagine.
What are you going to do?
I could imagine.
It is all good.
So, where do you mostly carry? You said person appendix. Gotcha.
Yep, person appendix. Although I do love my koala bags too.
Yeah.
Those hip bags they feel a little badassy when you wear them.
Yeah.
Coupled with a cool pair of boots.
All right.
Yeah, you walk with a little extra swag.
Nice.
Yes, I do like those too. But those are really the only ways I prefer to carry.
Yeah.
Just because of the muscle retention, because of the training, because of the access.
Yeah.
I know I can get to it.
Gotcha. That's cool.
I tried a lot of different places when I first started carrying. That didn't work for me.
Oh, sure. Oh my gosh. This is how we end up with a drawer full of holsters.
Right?
Exactly. And to see what works and what doesn't work. Yeah, absolutely.
We're getting ready to move, and I can't even tell you how many old holsters. I have a box full of them.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to take to a gun show and see if one of the dealers.
Right.
Here's a box.
Just take them.
Just take them. It's fine.
Get them.
Yeah.
Get rid of them.
But it does take a minute to find out what works for you and what doesn't work for you. And not everybody carries the same. And you have to find what does work for you.
Yeah.
And, some people will tell you should only do this and only do that. That's like saying women should only drive a Toyota Corolla.
Right. It's ridiculous.
It's ridiculous. I drive a pickup truck, and I rock the pickup truck.
Nice. I have the very first holster I got was it was a Galco inside the waistband collapsible holster. And the first gun I bought that I intended on carrying was a Smith & Wesson J-frame, a little 38 5-shot revolver. And I'm like, this is what I want to carry, so this is what I need to get, I need to buy. And it was, you just slip it right in the waistband, and there's a hook that goes around the belt. And I'm like, this is it. This is the holster I'm going with. And it was horrible. And I bought it. I'm like, this is the first holster I bought. I wore it like 3 times. It just didn't work, so I'm done. I'm done with this one. And then you buy another one. You're like, this is it. And then this one is it. This is the last. Okay, maybe not.
Yep. And I don't like weird pokey things. And women's jeans are stretchy.
Yeah.
And you can always, you don't want something pulling down. You got to find what works for you.
I think I've seen the Ulti clips work really well.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you have any of those, but I know or use those with your products. But I've heard a lot of people say really good things about those.
I'll have to check into those.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're like I've seen people wear them or use them with holsters without belts. So they'll wear stretchy pants and it will work.
Interesting.
So, I don't know. I don't make holsters.
This is my edition.
This is it.
Yeah.
All right. Well, listen, we are almost back to where we need to be. How can people find you and all of your Hiding Hilda stuff?
It's all on hidinghilda.com.
Yeah.
Hiding Hilda Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, All of them. All hiding Hilda.
All of it.
I'm becoming a social media guru with the help of my girl, Kaylee Browning.
I know we all need. I try to talk to my daughter that I need to learn how to Snapchat. She's like, Dad, no, you don't.
Yeah.
Right?
Kaylee is, turn right here. Kaylee is an Olympic shooter who does all my social media.
Oh, wow.
And she is fantastic. Y'all should look up Kaylee Browning too.
Kaylee Browning. All right.
She is amazing.
All right. Very cool.
Yes, yes, yes.
All right. So everyone needs to go to Hiding Hilda. Website, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. You also need to check out Lead Slinger's hand sanitizer. LeadSlingersWhiskey.com is their website, and you can get the hand sanitizer from info at LeadSlingersWhiskey.com. You also need to check out the Riding Shotgun with Charlie. Did I just miss the turn?
Yeah, that was just letting you finish.
You need to check out Riding Shotgun with Charlie on all of the social media networks as well. And check out the Self-Defense Radio Network, SDRN.us. It is all of your pro-freedom podcasts in one place. We're going to get out of the sun, I hope.
Yep.
SDRN, Self-Defense Radio Network, Riding Shotgun with Charlie. And we are trying to get the Stagecoach across America. So if you would like and share this with all of your people, we would greatly appreciate that. Dawn Hillyer, thank you so much for being on the show.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
I'm very excited to be able to knock out Indiana.
Woohoo!
And 20, oh, now we got to move, a car's coming. 20 states the show has been in. And I'm very excited and proud. And it's 40% of the country.
Congratulations.
Only 60 more to go.
That's huge. Congratulations.
Thanks. All right, we'll see you guys next time. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.